Welcome back to our deep dive NBA breakdown. This year's MVP race isn't just the same old recycled narrative. It has turned into an all-out clash between two entirely different basketball philosophies. On one side, the ice-cold, suffocating consistency of SGA. On the other, a walking cheat code defying the laws of physics, Wemby. Should the league's highest individual honor go to the most surgical offensive engine in basketball, or the generational talent whose defensive presence warps the entire floor? Today, we're putting these two frontrunners under the microscope, breaking down the analytics and answering the big question: who truly deserves to hoist the MJ trophy? Let's start with SGA. If you're looking for the definition of unsolvable in half-court sets, SGA is the answer. The scariest part about SGA isn't just that he drops an effortless $30+ night in and night out, it's how he gets them. In a three-point heavy era, SGA completely dominates the mid-range and the painted area using elite footwork, lethal deceleration, and masterclass foul drawing craft. He's converting over 58% on two-point field goals while knocking down roughly 88% from the charity stripe. More importantly, he takes exceptional care of the rock, keeping his turnover rate remarkably low for a primary ball handler. He is the undisputed engine keeping the O sitting comfortably atop the Western Conference standings. The traditional MVP criteria has always leaned heavily on one rule: best player on the best team. In that department, Shai's resume is airtight. He controls the pace, executes ruthlessly in clutch time, and runs the OKC machine with surgical precision. Now, flip the script over to SAS. What their young superstar is doing out there isn't just high-level basketball, it's pure science fiction. Don't let standard box scores fool you. Yes, Wemby is putting up around 24 to 25 points and pulling down over 11 boards a night. But his absolute greatest asset is his defensive gravity. When Wemby is on the floor, opposing drivers literally abandon the paint. Averaging well over 3 blocks per game and altering countless shot trajectories, he single-handedly turns a developing SAS roster into one of the most frustrating defensive units in the league. On the offensive end, he stretches the floor from beyond the arc, handles the rock like a perimeter guard, and creates massive spacing for his teammates. His strongest MVP case boils down to this: nobody in this league carries a heavier, more complete two-way burden. If your definition of MVP is the player who provides the highest sheer ceiling and value to his squad, he is right at the top of that ballot. When you stack them side by side, the MVP vote comes down to which basketball philosophy voters value more. SGA history heavily rewards premier perimeter creators who pilot a 60+ win powerhouse with historically elite offensive metrics. If you prioritize individual ceiling and two-way impact, Wemby gets the nod. No single player warps a game's tactical landscape more dramatically on both ends of the court. The only real knock against Wemby might be his managed minutes to protect his frame, whereas SGA logs heavy minutes and closes out high-stakes games on a nightly basis.
My take: Shai checks every traditional regular season MVP box with elite consistency and top-tier team success.
But Wemby is closing that gap at a terrifying pace, and his arrival into the superstar tier is only the beginning of a whole new era. What about you? If you held an official NBA MVP ballot today, are you riding with SGA's surgical efficiency or Wemby's alien-like two-way dominance? Drop your pick and your projected vote split down in the comments below.